right, are we ready to jump in? No devious side conversations. Rolling right in.
I mean, would you like me to talk about the anatomy of venomous spurs on platypus?
Later.
Okay.
Is it just us five?
For now, RJ will be in. He is going to be late. Our dear Kyrius has small children he is tending to for our lovely viewers at home. He will be joining us sometime between 1:45 and on the hour. Usually he's a little closer to on the hour, but he's always, he just kind of reinserts himself. Unfortunately, our dear Augie will not be here tonight. They are not feeling very well, and I have been asked to not kill the children. So first thing that we're doing once we roll in is I'm flinging them off the ship.
There is a lot that you can do that won't kill them.
Yes, I'm aware. I was specifically told don't kill the children, so now I have to kill the children. As your DM, I'm contractually obligated to kill the children. But
perhaps we don't need to. There are other things we could perform upon them.
Sure, I'll let you experiment on the children and be just as bad as the interrogator.
I mean, we both know that. Never mind.
Yeah, how far you want to take that claim? Anyways, don't have much in the way of housekeeping today. We're going to be getting started here pretty quick. We will be taking duo summer break here for the month of June. Doomy likes to claim that it's because we, need some time off. We've got graduation ceremonies and picnics and barbecues in summertime. I know the truth, and it's because I can't, and it's because he doesn't want me to call him out for Father's Day in June for being Duo's favorite dad. I say that only because RJ is not here.
Oh,
But
wait, Father's. Oh, right, American Father's Day. Right. Yeah.
Yes. And speaking of America, today is the U.S. Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day to all of our lovely viewers, watchers at home, all of our duo family here, everyone who is a parent, was a parent, might be becoming a parent, has a pet they're taking care of, anything like that. Happy Mother's Day from us to you at Duo Gaming. And now back to the insanity.
oh no, we ain't there yet.
No, we're not there yet. What'd I miss? What'd I forget?
We gotta go off to the theme song.
Well, yes, that's part of the insanity. Anyway, roll the theme song, Crunk!
Wrong theme song!
Right. Back to our regularly scheduled madness. When last we had left off, our merry band had found themselves into the DAV of Tethea, the Department of Air Vehicles, in the impound lot. Or, DAVID if you want to get snarky with it. I'm going to make it a thing. I'm going to make David a thing. It's going to happen.
Nope. The AV is enough.
The DAV impound lot.
There's just a problem if you make it David. It will gain sentience and then be possessed by an evil person. Also, probably the son of a great psychic.
Bold of you to assume that I don't want that to throw more problems at you. But yes, they had found their way into the DAV, had found their way to their ship. It was a little further down the lot than their Rakshasa companions had anticipated, and had how do I want to put this? They had happened upon a young drow who was just trying to do his job.
Oh, assaulted.
Happened upon.
Time for
Harassed.
depression.
What? Why is that going off? What? It did that yesterday too.
Did. That's
Wait,
great.
was the kid that we almost kidnapped and then decided to actually kidnap a drow?
Yes, he is a drow.
Oh, I just thought you said he was a darker skinned elf.
So, I will give a little bit of world building for our viewers at home because when we had originally gone over the world populace of Tithea, it was before we had started streaming. So, the city of Tithea is broken up into 4 districts. There is the High District, which is in the center. There is the Middle District, which is more of the farming, the Merchant District, and then the Lower District, which is essentially the slums. The slums and everything like that is where the drow citizenry live. They are relegated to the harder jobs, the jobs that are less forgiving. They are essentially treated as the dregs of society, specifically by the high elf nobility that live in the city. For several years, or actually, honestly, for at this point, probably several decades, there has been an underground resistance trying to change how this is happening. Our merry band had been abducted by one of the nobles, Melania Greenleaf, as we have now learned, and was interrogated for crimes against the crown, harboring a war criminal, a whole bunch of other things, disrupting the peace, various harassment charges, all because of one of their associates. The lad that you guys have now abducted is in fact a drow. Alarin has gotten this job because it is a shit job. It is bad, it is unforgiving, it is thankless, and he is just happy to have it at this point. Oftentimes, a drow like him, or a drow in general, if someone is going to go missing, it's going to be a drow that live in this society. They live in this area, they live in this town, and are, treated poorly for it. So yes, Alarin is a drow. And his companion, Malia, is not. She is actually a high elf who happens to have vitiligo. So she looks like she has the darker patches, but she doesn't. Well, she does, but she's not actually anyone of drow heritage. Fun little world building. But yes, you have now accosted this young man who is trying to do his job and threatened him to get the ship, and he's not able to help you. Many discussions were had. Eventually, the party did decide to go to the office to procure the proper paperwork, have it all done and taken care of, where we met Malia. Much to Scratch's utter chagrin and dismay, no one is keeping to the timetable. And so the paperwork has been procured, and Augie got to meet a fan, got to have a little bit of a heart-to-heart. You guys learned some unfortunate things about these 2 kids, and have then decided to, yes, we are in fact going to kidnap the children. However, we are kidnapping them willingly. It all makes sense, I promise.
Technically, they're asylum seekers.
Technically. It's funnier to say that we're willingly kidnapping them because that's also the plan that is trying to be rooted into the world. But that will come to fruition at a later date.
I count it as a success.
You are successfully kidnapping him. And you are successfully kidnapping a second elf too. So that is a double success for kidnapping.
Now we just need to start making tennis shoes and we'll be perfect.
What's a tennis?
It hasn't been invented yet.
That's going to be Scratch's newest invention is tennis shoes.
10-ish shoes.
Ah, so they're only kind of like a 10.
No, there's 10 or so materials used in making them, so they're 10-ish shoes.
Okay. We'll have to work out the logistics of all that later, but yes, when we had ended the session, you guys had been reunited with Masaru. He had been staying in Tethea, acting as emissary and ambassador. And he has now been reunited with the group. And Lachlan, you had sent a squirrel off to go try to find a messenger.
And
a squirrel on this. Go ahead.
Let me just say, oddly enough, it's not that we were just reunited with Masaru, it's the fact that they're both standing there at the same time.
Masaru and Yurei standing next to each other.
I mean, why wouldn't they be standing next to each other?
Rain sees nothing wrong with this.
Yeah?
Nobody sees anything wrong except for me, which we're gonna have a talk later.
Now that I see them standing next to each other, I'm like, scratch. Did Halstra make a clone?
I don't know, but it's definitely gonna be a conversation later.
Is that what you guys want to talk about while you wait for the squirrel to come back?
I believe we should go to our ship and start closing windows.
Yeah, you guys do have a pallet of contraband that needs to be sorted and gone through and returned to the ship, which is still at the end of the lot, by the way.
It's alright, we'll just bring the ship over, we'll use the hoist, we'll lift it all up onto the ship, and we'll sort it there.
How are you going to bring
We were carrying it, but Brutus got distracted.
How are we gonna what?
Your ship still doesn't have a sail.
I just assumed that the sail was on the pallet of contraband.
Yeah, that's what I assumed too.
What did we say about assuming?
It makes an ass out of you.
Did they take the sail from the wings?
Where's the sail? I want my property!
The two kids kind of look at each other and they start whispering. And Malia comes over and she kind of if is it on your ship? It's supposed to be on the ship. They're not supposed to take the sails off the ship. They're just supposed to not have them on the pole, on the pole thingy. The big tall, the thingy.
Are you talking about the boom?
I don't know. I don't know ships. I don't sail things.
It's
I think
similar.
you might mean the mast.
I don't know.
You don't affix a sail to a mast. You affix a boom to a mast and then the sail to the boom.
We were told the sail was missing.
I thought we upgraded the ship to above such primitive uses.
Unless it's a triangular sail, you affix a triangular sail to the mast and the boom.
They said pole thingy. In my mind, that goes straight up and down. Is that not what a mast is? I that's the extent of my knowledge about boats. Sorry.
How far away is the ship?
The lot itself. You guys are at the office. I'll say it's about 500 feet.
About 500 feet. Okay.
Ships are big and they need space between them to be stored correctly. So this is
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
yeah.
Alright, let's go check out the stupid sail.
Just start walking in that direction, dragging my tail.
I feel like Scratch is upset that it's too far for him to just teleport.
Halstrom will assist in taking the stuff back to the ship.
Brutus is going to look disappointed that his squirrel buddy left, and then assist with the pallet.
All right. Who is going to be doing the majority of the carrying?
Fun?
So who is going to be doing the primary carrying? Who's assisting?
Brutus will assist.
I assume Halstrom, considering he's the one who can lift and carry the most in the party.
Halstrom, give me a strength check.
Hold on. Is that with advantage because I have powerful build?
Humor me and give me a strength check. Yeah, you're fine.
Just making sure I don't crit fail.
Yeah, pretty much. Had you rolled a 1, we'd be having a different conversation. There's a very low DC for this check. Yes, Halstrom, it takes you a second just to try to figure out, because these are not the pallets that you're used to. This is not the standard kind of lift procedures you would have back on Dalmasca for stuff like this. So it takes you just a second to figure out how to lift.
No grav tech.
Exactly.
Absolutely barbaric.
No. I know I walk on all fours, but I'm not a barbarian.
I was referring to their primitive technology.
Oh. What's technology?
This is a long talk. We will have it on the ship.
Okay.
So you all make your way down, and you pass ships, same ships that you had before. Some have been sitting for a while. Some haven't been tended to, some have. Some are smaller than others, of course. A handful of them have tags that they've been processed, they've been collected, or are in the process of being collected. Some have no tags, they haven't been processed. And you get down to your vessel. And she's sitting there just like you left her. Windows open, no sail, looking rather depressed.
Hey, Scratch.
If you're gonna tell me there's no sale, I can see that.
No, often if things are left in impound too long, they will return to the property of the government. I was wondering if we may be able to use our royal connections and commandeer some of these vessels.
I mean, I always wanted to be a Commodore.
You're commodorable.
I will bite you.
I was just going to ask if you bite him.
I will use my cloak to cast fly and fly up onto the main deck.
Okay.
Just kind of look down at Lachlan disapprovingly as I do.
The slow ascent up to eye level with that sneer before you just rise up faster is what I'm imagining.
Uh-huh. Very much.
Very good. Very good.
Is there a sail on the deck?
There is, in fact, a sail on the deck. It is folded nice and neatly. You notice that there are several smaller sails folded next to it that you recognize as your fin sails.
Mother tail fins. The sails are up here. They folded them on the deck.
Oh, Lauren, where do you keep the boarding stairs?
Oh, right. Oh, yeah, I'll go get them. They're out back.
Thank you.
And he just runs off.
I begin to inspect the deck to see if anything's been tampered with or damaged beyond the what would be necessary for impounding.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an investigation and a perception. I lied. Give me the perception first.
Okay.
This is going to be your first sweeping view, just to see if there's anything obvious, and then I'll have you roll an investigation. So you don't see anything outside of the normal wear and tear that your ship has had. Couple dings, couple nicks, couple scratches that have been there for as long as you've had it.
Plus one more
Nothing
scratch.
seems. There is, in fact, one more scratch. There is exactly one additional scratch
On the deck. Yep.
on the deck. Are you?
It
on
happens
the
to
deck,
be
or
where you landed.
Are you on the deck, or are you above the deck?
No, I'm on the deck. I landed on the
Okay.
deck.
Okay. Yes, there's one extra scratch on the deck, and it's currently moving around. The investigation shows you can definitely tell that. Are you just observing the deck, or are you going all the way through the ship?
I'll wait to go through the ship once we start getting the sails up. I'm just checking the deck right now.
Okay. You can definitely tell that whoever offloaded your ship wasn't exactly gentle when stuff was pulled off. As you look more, you can see there are some more dings, some more bumps, some more scrapes. A couple of the doors that are open are hanging cockeye. And it does not look like your ship was treated appropriately. It very much looks like...
I'm going to take the skin from that woman's giant forehead, turn it into a wallet, and throw it in a river.
Does Hellstrom notice the damage?
Give me a perception. Are you on the deck also?
Hellstrom was going to be in the middle of starting to take things back onto the ship.
You don't have the boarding stairs yet.
Ah.
Yep, I flew
He's
up.
going to take an overlook.
Okay, go ahead and give me perception for kind of a cursory look over for where you can see.
Perception.
Looks good to you. Outside of the windows open, everything looks shipshape.
Lachlan would like to investigate the mounting the mounting for the flight fins. See if there's any damage there.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a perception and then an investigation.
It wasn't a 1.
The one was taken. So on
And investigation?
very good.
Yeah. No.
Nice. So do you want to walk all the way around to investigate all, 6 fins?
Yeah.
Okay. So upon first glance, upon first lap, everything looks all right. A little tarnished, a little scuffed, but nothing too severe. And then as you go back around and you investigate each fin more thoroughly, you notice that a couple things are bent. It very much looks like when they were taking things off of your ship, they were not handled kindly. It's not like anything is broken, but there are some scuff marks, there are some bent spots where the sail would slot in, things like that. A couple coils are twisted. It's not anything bad, but it's not polite.
Any like scuff marks or tarnishing that I see, I would just quickly wipe my hand over it using prestidigitation to clean it.
Okay. Are you cleaning it back to mirror shine, or are you just getting rid of the scuff marks?
You know that really pleasant off-mirror shine that you get with burnished copper?
Yes. Okay. So you're just kind of getting them back to scuff free, because that's kind of their default look. Okay. Yeah, you're able to do that pretty easily. There weren't a lot, no more than any ship that's been impounded or that's been through the flights that you guys have had would suffer.
I call up and say, no damage to the fin mounts.
That's something. I'm going below deck. And I go straight to my chambers.
Okay.
Are my projects still in... Well, did they get through the locked door? That's the first question, I guess.
That's a good question. No, but they tried to jimmy it.
So it's all messed up.
Yeah, the lock is scuffed and scraped and smashed. It's not broken. It's still in one piece.
Alright, so I will pull out Scrap. And I'll reactivate Scrap. And I'll push Scrap under the door. This is, of course, the mage hand spell.
Of course.
And I'll have Scrap open the door from the inside.
Okay.
So I assume since they didn't get into my chamber, all my projects are still where they should be.
Yes. All of the mechanical projects that you had, everything's a little dusty, but
Okay. And all of Augie's books are in her little nook.
yep.
Okay. Alright.
A question for the DM. Do small little slimes enjoy squeezing into places like this and eating anything left on the floor?
I'll
I mean,
squish it
usually-
somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, you see, that's why everything is only kind of dusty.
Are
There's
the
little,
horse-sized chickens okay?
there's little trails in the dust.
There's some places where the dust is thicker. You kind of feel like your little gelatinous Roomba has gotten stuck in a corner because there's one corner that's really clean.
I just imagine dust on the floor and there just being little paths. Like it goes straight across the room and turns left.
And then you can clearly see where it took a nap for a while.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it just
exactly.
it sat there and kind of spread out so the clean space is just a little bit wider.
Exactly. There's occasionally a little slime trail that drips off something.
Okay. While we're getting everything ready, I'm going to take the large silver crystal from my bag that's wrapped very carefully. And I'm going to unlock one of the drawers on my work table, and I'm going to set it in there very carefully and lock the drawer again.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna head back out and I mean I should keep up appearances and check the other rooms first. Go check on the infirmary, and I'm gonna go check in the infirmary.
Okay. We will actually pause on that because about this point, Lauren is going to come over with your boarding stairs.
Fine
And they
with
are
me.
stairs, huh?
I said fine with me.
Yeah. I figure we'll switch back over. This will give you a chance to, if there's anything specific you're going for, and give me an opportunity to talk.
Oh, go
About
for
what
it.
I
I'm good.
might or might not have had come alive. All right. So, Alarin comes over and he's pushing a not necessarily rickety set of stairs. But again, like a lot of things here, it's not super well taken care of. Dark wooden stairs with a platform, a winch, and another platform off to one side, very low to the ground, where presumably whatever things would be loaded on would be set onto if they're heavier. And he's huffing and huffing. Okay, sorry. They were way in the back. A family of raccoons had started to sleep on them, and I had to fight them off, but
Oh, you should have come and see me. I would have spoken to them and asked them to politely move.
no, it's fine. I threw a bagel, and they left. We have emergency bagels in case of raccoons.
Very resourceful, Lauren.
It's either that or let the raccoons win, and I don't like to let the raccoons win, so bagels. But yeah, stairs. There's a winch. You might need to oil it. I couldn't find the oil can, probably because I think the cockatrice took it. But here we are.
Can I hear any of this conversation from inside the ship?
Let's see. You are back in the captain's quarters.
Because the windows are open.
Yes. Let me see.
Well, also, how loud is he talking?
Yeah.
That's
true,
what I'm
too.
trying to figure
This
out.
is a big ship.
Hold please. I'm sorry. My roll 20 has just gone down. Give me just a moment to get back in.
So whilst we're waiting, Doomy, I have a wonderful idea for a campaign actually set into Thea.
Okay.
I think there's another channel you gotta go through for that, bud.
You're loading. Give me a second. It's a really observant, but not in the slightest magical man, and his drow friend who solves crimes by pretending to be psychic. This is
Now-
an entirely original idea.
What about two drow brothers that like to play games of chance, and they've kind of been hustling all these people in the town that they currently live in, and one day they realize they've hustled all the people they can, but they get chased by the guards, and then through some mixed happenstance they end up on a ship inbound for some faraway strange land that's rumored to have
A city of gold?
a city of crystal, not gold. Gold's tacky.
Oh, of course, yes.
Gold's tacky. You're not wrong, but
What about there's this person, they don't realize they're royal, but they were kept in a tower their entire life by a borderline abusive woman who claims to be their mother. And then later on, a roguish, possibly Rylan-like figure comes and accidentally frees them from the tower.
Oh, and he has to get into the tower by climbing up her extremely long and disheartening fingernails?
Yeah, yeah.
Repulsal?
oh my god. Anyway, I have now loaded back in.
No, I think it's gonna go down again.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised at this point with how abruptly that went down.
Blame the solar storms.
I am, in fact, blaming the solar storms, even though it's not actually not a full solar storm. It's just an electromagnetic storm. But that is a whole different rabbit hole I'll go down. Anyways, so Scratch, I'm looking at the map for where you'd be. I don't think we have windows where your area is, specifically because you didn't want windows, because you didn't want to have to look out.
Okay, that's
There is one window. It's the porthole for the deployment of salt.
I was just gonna
Kind of
make
more
a
of a
joke
hatch
about
than a window.
it's more like a
Yeah.
launching tube like Voltron, but
Yeah.
I was more or less just gonna make a joke about cocks in a tree, but that's fine.
Yeah, no, you do not hear it. I like what you're thinking though, but no, you are not able to hear it.
Okay. Sorry for the
Lachlan
derail.
feels a slight presence. What about cocks in a tree?
Have you guys not dealt with a cockatrice before? I mean, the ones that
Is
we
that
have
the
here-
snake with but with a head of a chicken for its butt?
Definitely not.
In that case, no, apparently not.
It's more like a chicken, but with snake tail and, scaly wings. And he kind of flaps his arms a little bit, wings. I mean, the ones that we have here, they're not as big as some of the other ones that you'll run into. I mean, I don't want to say they're domestic, because they're definitely feral, but they're a lot smaller, so I'm pretty sure it stole the oil can.
Lachlan's going to climb the stairs and get on board, ready to make sure that the winch is working from above.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a strength check.
Can I use my mage hand and then make that check with intelligence?
Isn't the max thing for mage hand like 5 pounds?
Let's see. What does Mage Hand say? An object. 10 pounds, but yeah. No, you're not going to be able to use Mage Hand for this.
Yeah.
So this, you got to remember, this is like an industrial winch. This is something that's designed to be like raising and lowering heavy pallets and items and objects up onto the ship. So it's not, it's a lot heavier than 10 pounds.
Lachlan looks at it, tugs on it, and then says, "Okay." It's heavy.
We will say that at the moment, Augie is deep in conversation with Malia about their books, and they unfortunately do not hear you.
Am I able to investigate the tackle and the tackle and the pulley to see if it is in fact stuck or if it's just really heavy?
Sure. Go and give me an investigation.
Back to form.
You're not really able to tell. It's definitely rusted, but you're not sure if anything's broken or damaged. This isn't a mechanism you're super familiar with. This, it's more elfish design, and it looks pretty old.
Alstrom,
Yes.
your brother's with All Machines, right?
I do not have familiar relations with the machines.
I feel like that's a little racist somehow.
It's not racist. He's technically human.
I feel like that's almost worse then.
I am a devout tech priest of the machine god.
Can you pray to this tackle and make it work?
Can I just make a tech check?
Go for it.
Which tool?
Give me which of the ones that you have that you think are appropriate.
I got mechanics tools.
Yeah, go that one.
Attribute in strength or intelligence.
Give me intelligence, since you're not trying to make it work, you're just trying to see what's going on with it. Why am I surprised? So, Halstrom, you can tell pretty much immediately upon examining this, because yes, this is very primitive technology to you, but it's got, you're shocked to find, some similar components to grav winches that you've worked with.
Okay.
The actual mechanics of it seem sound. It doesn't seem that there's any massive damage to it, but it has not been used in a very long time and is very, very rusted. But it still seems like it's structurally sound. It just needs some tending. It needs some care put into it.
Can I spend a minute to use mending to repair it, or some tool checks to work around that instead of using magic?
You can do either one. Do you have a preference for which one?
Hellstrom, being a tech priest, would prefer to use his hands
Okay.
since it's more intimate with the machine.
What kind of tools do you
Not
have?
familial relations, then.
It is respect.
What kind of tools do you have that you would be able to tend to this with? You have your mechanics tools, but what comes in that?
Let's see. I have Tinker's tools. I also have Smith's tools.
Okay. So what comes in the tools?
Let me read what comes in those tools.
Or you can just go with the mechanics tools like I had originally asked you.
Okay. I probably have you said it's a little rusted. Probably
It's very rusted.
Probably got some equivalent to WD-40 on this bitch.
I'm trying to make sure.
I will make another tech check then with the mechanics tools.
Please do.
Intelligence again?
Yes. You want to see, what you have that you could use? It's about what I figured. Yes. So it takes you just a second of rooting through, but you do find some Imperium grade lubricant that you can use, as well as some wrenches, some drivers, and things that you can use to loosen up the mechanical parts of it. You're not going to be able to restore the mechanism to how it was, but you can definitely make it work.
This is but a quick fix. This device needs to be taken for proper maintenance. I would advise your superiors to take better care of their tools, lest a workplace accident happen. He's just kind of saying this out loud, hoping the kid is there.
Oh, he definitely is. Like, he hasn't gone anywhere. They're both there, just kind of watching. Because you have to remember what you look like to these sheltered teenagers.
I am a robed warforged in their eyes.
With tentacles.
Oh yes, I assume I have a few mechadendrites kind of working, just inching around to places where the human hand can't normally reach.
Pretty much. And they're struggling with this at the moment.
I posted in Chitty Chat the contents of Hallstrom's engineering kit.
GG.
Yeah, pretty much. There's a couple other things, but pretty much.
Military grade duct tape. Not made of ducks.
No, probably made out of corpses, though.
That's the starch. Anything else you need to be done to get this thing to work properly?
I'm thinking... I don't... So... Give me a flat int check. Okay. So you can tell doing this by hand is going to take you a little while. You could probably do it quicker just by using mending, but you have all of the tools available to be able to do it.
Okay.
And you also have some very young, impressionable youths here that you could use, that you could impart your wisdom upon.
Yes. Young elves are... Let's see, I believe you. Your... At least shape seems to imply you are of young age for your race. It is important to take care of the machinery of your workstation. All machinery is sacred in the eyes of the machine god and must be treated with devotion and respect.
Okay. How do we treat machinery with respect?
Learn how it works. Listen to how the parts move. If something sounds wrong, find its source and tend to it. Much like a living organism, the machine needs care.
Okay. That's pretty cool. I like building things. I don't know. I can hold a torch.
If you could hold this light in this for me, please. He kind of hands him like a kind of like little flashlight.
How do I turn it? Ah! He blinds
You
himself.
pointed at your face, didn't you?
Watched him pointed at his face.
he handed it to him with the mechadendrite while tending to this machine.
Yeah, it's really bright. Oh, why is that so bright? That's like 14 suns.
Lopin's gonna run over and like kind of look at Alara and say, I know that since the old days, your people have been less susceptible to light, but you shouldn't shine things in your eyes.
The retinal damage will pass in a few seconds.
Oh, okay, I'm just gonna. And he kind of like comes over, holding the torch. Okay, where do you want me to stand, and how do I? And he's like holding it like you would a regular camping torch, with the beam pointing straight up.
It is better to hold it similar to a kind of like reverse grip for a dagger.
Okay, so he kind of like switches it over. I have to. No, come on.
Adjust your arm and wrist to point the light forward.
He blinds himself again. He points it at his face before he points it down.
I'll go get Scratch's welding goggles.
It takes him a second, but he's pointing it where you're telling him to.
Fantastic.
And
Want me to...
you notice that he's a little bit more relaxed around you because you didn't immediately berate him.
He is a young man interested in the technologies. We must strive to teach, not scold.
Very good. Ooh, I will actually be right back.
So I wonder next time we level up, maybe I should take the inspiring leader feat.
Isn't that directly linked to your charisma modifier?
Uh-huh.
Is
What's
your
your charisma
inspiration do this thing or I'll shoot you?
Maybe.
Captain, I believe that's how you get a mutiny.
Listen, I can spend 10 minutes inspiring my companions and shoring up the resolve to fight. When I do so, up to 6 friendly creatures within 30 feet gain temporary hit points equal to my level plus my charisma modifier. Which would be 12 plus 2, 14.
I mean, 14 temp hit points is good, but
Yeah. I could take the keen-minded feat.
the I don't have to remember anything because DM has to remember for me feat.
Uh-huh, yep. You can remember anything you've seen or heard within a number of weeks equal to your intelligence modifier, which is 6.
Hey, I remember.
Right?
You take an extra helping of breakfast to be my breakfast.
But
When was the scratch? It doesn't matter.
Ooh,
Yeah, but you sounded like a Skaven there.
You can spend 5 minutes discussing a problem or puzzle with your allies, and then by doing that, you can turn any wisdom or any insight or investigation check into a group check. That's interesting.
Ooh.
That's a surprise tool that'll help us later. I'm sorry about that. I was trying to find the ibuprofen bottle and it was hiding from me. I have now returned.
Okay, welcome back.
Yes. So yes, Hallstrom, you and Lauren are working on fixing the winch. Scratch. We are going to pivot slightly back to you. I say slightly, but we are going to pivot entirely back to you as you are on your own. And you were investigating the medical wing, right?
Yeah, that's where I went.
Okay. So was there anything particular you're looking for, or are you still just kind of doing what you've been doing and giving a once over and then going back in and figuring out if there's anything specific?
While I'm in the infirmary, does anything look out of place?
Roll perception.
DM, I'm going to send you a message because I want to make sure you remember a specific item that is inside one of the drawers in the infirmary.
Okay. I forgot that was in there. I remembered it was in that area, but I forgot it was in there. Okay. Yes. So Scratch. Everything looks fine except for one of the drawers, which is still open slightly. As if it had been very hurriedly shut and not shut all the way.
Okay. I'm going to walk over and I'm going to just kind of peer inside of this drawer.
Okay. I need you to make me a wisdom save. Please. Okay. So inside this mirror, you get a glimpse, or the drawer, you get a glimpse of the dark mirror that you had found way back when.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Uh-huh. And just because the drawer was only open a little bit, you're only able to get a glimpse. And you manage to see what looks like Opal staring back at you, but just for a moment.
Okay, well now I gotta take it out of the drawer.
Okay. So you pull the mirror open, or the drawer open. God, I'm gonna successfully English at some point today. I will sentence appropriately at some point today. You pull the drawer open, and the mirror is sitting there, just on a cushion, just sitting shiny side up. And you don't see a reflection immediately as you look into it. Are you just kind of like looking over the edge of the drawer, or are you pulling it out all the way?
Oh, I pulled it out.
Okay. So as you peer into it, it takes a moment before your reflection appears. And give me another wisdom save, please, since you are looking fully into it now.
I did better.
You did better. As you peer into this mirror, you see yourself as you imagine that you are. Standing confident and tall, you have the captain's hat, you have your dragon wings, everything about you is what you've always wanted to be, except there is a dark shadow behind you. And as you look into it and you peer deeper, you see the face of Opal, but you don't see him as you knew him. You see the gaunt, lean, twisted face of his body that's being puppeted by the necromancer. And you see it behind you, ever over your shoulder. And you hear a voice in your head, and you swear it's his voice accusing you of failing before the mirror goes dark.
I'm gonna do something weird.
Uh-oh.
Take a little jar out of my bag, and very carefully I'm gonna like dribble a little bit of the contents of this jar at the very top of the mirror's frame and at the very bottom of the mirror's frame. And then I'm going to lay the mirror back in the drawer face down.
Okay. What did you dribble on the mirror?
Mimic glue.
Ah. Very good.
And then I'm gonna go for the reason I came in here. I'm gonna look for some anesthetic.
I'm concerned about why you're looking for anesthetics. But
Well,
okay.
That's for me to know and you to be concerned about.
Like amnestics? Or
that which knocks things out.
Yeah, and anesthetics, not amnestics. Lachlan,
Yeah.
would you have anesthetics in your medical office?
Okay, so we don't have gas pressurization, so it wouldn't be nitrous oxide.
No.
Does this land even have the medical knowledge, advanced medical knowledge?
We would have herbal and alchemical ways to deal with it. I believe
That's
I
fair.
used up the last of my anesthetics during the surgery on the Minotaurs.
I think you did.
Yeah, because they were big dudes,
They were
and a
big
lot
dudes,
of them.
and they needed a lot. There was big dudes. There were a lot of them, and you needed a lot.
We had to take
And we
brains
haven't
out to
really been
preserve them.
anywhere where I can make or
Yeah,
make or buy anymore.
you haven't been in a situation where you've needed to make any, so you haven't really had the opportunity to discover if there's any of the herbs or mushrooms or ingredients nearby would have anything. And you haven't really been to an apothecary, so scratch. I'm just going to go ahead and say that during your investigation, as you're browsing around, you do not find any anesthetics. You found where they should be, but all of the...
Can I say that he does find an amnestic, though?
No. If anybody's going to have the amnestics, it's going to be Hallstrom, and they would not be stored in the medical bay.
They'd be probably stored in the cybernetics bay.
Exactly. Yeah, so you find the spots where the anesthetic should be. You find a couple of places where Lachlan keeps the syringes for the injectable kinds, and you don't find anything, any of the little herbal pouches that he has. There's none. Any of the poultices, there aren't any. No anesthetics.
There's just a note on the shelf where the anesthetic should be that says, "Reminder: need to stop by apothecary to get more."
The note is kind of you, as if somebody had picked it up and put it back down.
So nothing like hemlock or opium or anything like that.
I'm gonna say
There's
no.
foxglove.
Hmm?
Do you have foxglove on you?
Not
Yeah,
on
I
him.
had
In the medical bay.
I had some foxglove growing in the window.
Can foxglove be used as an anesthetic?
No, it is used for digitalis, which is actually a heart medication.
Fair enough.
It slows the heartbeat.
Fair enough.
Makes you feel sleepy, but for a
Okay.
different reason.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's killing you.
second,
It's a
second, second thing on
Yes.
list. Antiseptic.
What is medicine if not a controlled poison?
Yeah, fair enough. Antiseptic.
There would be distilled alcohol at 80%.
Ooh, here's a question. Would it still be there?
That's what I'm asking.
There is a bottle, and it's about a quarter full.
Okay. I will take that and put it in my bag, and then I'll just kind of wander around and randomly take some other things off the shelf, so it looks like somebody's been through there
Okay,
on a shopping spree, and
very good.
tuck all those into the bag of holding.
Very good.
And then
You do notice as you've walked around that a lot of the stuff hadn't really been like there's some stuff had been touched, of course, stuff had been moved and shifted. A lot of the unmarked bottles and things had been left alone. A lot of stuff in the medical bay hadn't been taken, but well, about half of it had been taken. You can see some definite blank spots where you knew things would be before.
Yep. And I would try to make sure what I took is kind of innocuous, not anything that we need an emergency, but at least that there's some stuff missing.
You took my bottle of antiseptic.
Well, that was needed.
You're trying to perform surgery on yourself?
Why would that even come into your head?
Because your tail's broken, you've been sulking about it, and you don't want me to do it.
We also have two wonderful test subjects that have now volunteered to join the boat. Anyway, yep, okay. Moving on to the next room. Continue with whatever else you want happening outside.
Yeah. So as this is all going on outside, Hallstrom and Alarin have been working on getting the winch taken care of. And it takes them a little bit of time just because Hallstrom is also teaching at the same time. And Alarin is trying his damnedest. He's, at this point, he's just kind of nodding along and will occasionally ask a question before just continuing to nod.
While we're repairing, can I give him like some little rundowns on the whole machine cult?
You want to try to convert this, what would be a 16?
Absolutely!
So, how obvious are you trying to be about this?
I mean, I've been going about it as I've been talking about, oh hey, the machine is important, we must respect it. For every machine is part of the great machine god.
Okay, so you're trying to be decently subtle.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead, give me a religion check.
Yes. Damn it!
The smugness and then the roll.
Damn it!
That's what you get for being smug.
I was so excited.
I mean, it's still a 10.
But it's a crit fail.
It's still a 10. So, as you're educating him and you're explaining things to him, he doesn't really seem like he's buying into the whole machine cult part of it, but you can definitely tell he's very enthusiastic to be learning something.
I'll take it. Baby steps. You can't convert in a single day.
Doesn't mean the Minotaurs could.
They didn't have much choice.
I mean, I literally performed miracles for the Minotaurs, so...
They were on board with it. You performed miracles. They didn't know a damn thing you were saying. They didn't understand a word of it, but it helped, and they were ready to join. They even made themselves robes.
It's like with Burley, but more.
Oh, Burley says hi to everyone, by the way.
Yay! Miss you, Burley.
Okay, so Lachlan.
Mm-hmm.
So as you're threading the boning onto the flight fins, I am going to need you to give me an int check and a dex check, please, because
I'm
it's
good
boning.
at one of those.
Yep.
And for the dex check, I'm going to cast Guidance.
Okay. So you can pretty
15 in total.
okay. You can pretty decently figure out how to put the boning back on. This is not something you've ever done before, so you are struggling with it. You don't break anything, but it's not something that is coming naturally to you.
I imagine that threading boning wouldn't be too dissimilar from suturing a wound.
I mean, it is because obviously, the suturing the wound, you're working on a much smaller scale, but also this is also a cybernetic device, and you're used to working on people. So it's similar and it's different because this is so entirely out of your wheelhouse. You have never done something like this before. You have barely been on airships, let alone tried to fix one or tried to put one back together.
Lachlan's going to be meticulous about it then. They're going to line up all of the boning so that they make sure they get the correct sizes in each correct hole. They're going to make sure that the pockets that the boning slides into are secured in the fashion that that would be best for this particular kind of material. Just like sitting on a barrel and just concentrating with every part of their being.
Okay, so are you trying to? So for the boning onto the flight pins, are you trying to? You went up and you got the sails.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I may be imagining this differently from how you have.
A little bit, but I can make it work. Because what I had more imagined is the boning is attached to the ship, kind of like how the points in between a fish's fins are attached. And so you'd have to feed the boning, on and everything on that way.
Yeah, that works.
What are Tamsin and Kyrius doing while all this is going down? What are Rain and Kyrius doing while all this is going down?
Right?
Rain is eavesdropping on Augie and Malia's conversation.
They are having a very heated argument. Augie is explaining to Malia in very pointed detail about why one character and another character should not have ended up together because they are a very toxic relationship. And Malia is adamantly defending her OTP because they're just so cute together. And she doesn't understand why they can't just talk it out and work it out. And Augie is trying not to punch a child.
Yeah, I have a feeling that I don't have to work that hard to eavesdrop.
No, you really don't.
I don't exist to them right now.
Nobody exists to them right now.
Except for their OTPs.
The OTP and the no TP.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Very good. Harriet, what are you doing? Besides standing next to a tree broodingly. Harriet, are you dead?
I think Carius is dead.
I didn't mean to kill him. Thought he was back.
I'd find.
Oh, okay. He's trying to figure out why we can't hear him. Okay. Yes.
Oh
I'm sorry.
no!
We haven't been able to hear you this whole time.
Oh no!
Buddy, you can message me at any point. Go, hey DM, can you hear me? I just assumed you were being broody.
That's it.
Oh,
Well, it was there for a moment.
We've got a little bit.
Can you hear me now? Testing 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
mostly.
Roger, Roger.
Okay, don't know what that was. It's okay though. I'm not actually feeling that great tonight, so I have just been kind of sitting here. I tried to come up with a goofy D&D TV show theme thing when everybody was doing that earlier. Nobody responded to me, so I just thought it sucked.
Oh no.
No! Oh no!
Oh no!
We just can't hear you.
I did a whole parody of like Supernatural with 2 human brothers, but whatever. It's okay.
Oh.
Sounds amazing, though. I'm so sorry we couldn't hear it.
That does sound.
Like literally nobody said anything. I was like, oh, I guess nobody cares.
No, it's just because we couldn't hear you.
I can't.
I care. I've literally
all
made
good.
the Winchester brothers as playable D&D characters.
It's all good. I promise. I'm good. I mean, everybody's inspecting things on the ship, so Kyrios would probably be checking the kitchen, since that's like his duty area, to make sure everything is in place and nothing's been messed up. The oven and the stove still look good. Everything is where it should.
Okay, go ahead and give me a perception and then an investigation, please.
You said perception and then investigation.
Yes, because the perception is going to be your once over, just to kind of give you a quick scan, see if you notice anything obvious out of place. You notice that your cabinets have been opened. A couple of them are still sitting ajar, but outside of most of the food is still there. That wasn't important enough for them to take. But otherwise, everything seems to be in order. The stove is still there. The oven is still there. Everything looks like it's in good working condition, but somebody has definitely rooted through your cabinets.
As long as everything is still there. I would spend some time straightening stuff up, taking inventory, and did the cart with all of the stuff that we had delivered, is it with us too?
We're working on winching it up right now.
Okay, then I would be making.
Or did you mean the cart that you guys got from Cypher?
Yeah,
we left that
cart.
back at
You guys take it
the.
with you.
No, we left that back there. We
Yeah.
already said we have to go back and get it whenever we get the ship running.
Yeah, that's back at the road with the log where you had run into the orc war boss.
Okay, yeah, that's got all of the food supplies that I bought. So, knowing that we're planning on going back to get it, I would just be like straightening up the kitchen area and making room for that stuff and taking inventory of everything.
Okay, perfect. All right. So then, do we want to give a little time jump into the future where everyone is on the ship, everything has been loaded up and organized and established?
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
Lachlan would have made a. The ship has an intercom, right? We established that.
Yes.
There's like pipes that
Yes.
run throughout.
Because I know
Lachlan would have
Hellstrom
made.
just played music to wake
Go.
everyone up.
Yeah.
Lachlan would have made an announcement saying, "All crew, both new recruits and old, please report to the infirmary at half-hour intervals. You need medical checks."
Ah.
So
Yes, that includes you, Captain.
Lachlan,
Yep.
you notice that as time goes on, the only people who have responded to your intercom are your new recruits and your current crew. None of the other crew that you guys had hired are here.
Well, yes.
We expected that.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
I know Masaru's gonna have to go and get his crew. At least the crew we got from Okami.
Does anyone not come to the checkup?
Kyrios does not come.
Neither does
Rain does
Scratch.
not come either.
All the officers.
Pretty much.
Lachlan would come with medical bag and rap on each door.
The kids probably wouldn't because they don't know you, and it's one of those, why is the strange horned human telling us to go to the medical bay? Where's the medical bay?
A lot
the
would
basement.
probably come. He knows that I'm a skilled doctor. I helped his brother. But he possibly doesn't know where the medical bay is.
Yeah.
Did we go and pick up the cart?
No, you guys would not have gone to pick up the cart yet.
All right, that's where we're headed now. So
Cool.
says the captain.
Cool.
Rain would volunteer to go with you.
Well, no,
Do-
we're
do
taking
we
the
have-
whole ship to go get the cart.
Oh,
'cause
okay.
we left Salt to protect it.
Gotcha. See, Rain was there, seeing firsthand when Lachlan was testing random shit on Augie. She has no desire to be prodded at.
Oh, that's a good point.
Rain, I appreciate that you don't trust my medical methods. However, that was my alchemical doctor experience. This is my medical doctor experience.
I assure you, I'm in perfect health. I appreciate the concern.
It is standard procedure if you are aboard this ship to have medical clearance, whether or not you're in perfect health or not.
How about this? I'll do it if Scratch does it.
Well, Scratch is scheduled for surgery.
Surgery.
Good luck.
Nice.
Do we have the ability to fly the ship without a crew?
Not really. It's a big ship. At least I think so. That's at least my thoughts.
Well,
I mean,
our
you guys
crew
would
would
love
theoretically be in the city. Unless they walked home.
You guys have no idea where any of your crew is.
Well, yeah, they're probably in the town because I mean we left them there.
Yep.
Yep.
Try to fly the ship without the crew, or are you guys going to go try to find the crew?
We flew the ship
Sarah's
without
gonna
the
go try
crew
to
in the
find a
first
crew.
time,
Before
Yeah, it was
upgraded.
before it was upgraded.
so it should be even easier to fly now.
It is going to be even harder to fly now. It is more complex.
Wait till I put a soul of a dragon in it. I mean, what?
Oh, you're going to have to run by that one by me.
I don't think the machine spirit's gonna like that.
I think that is the machine spirit.
Yep, that would be the new machine spirit.
Well, at least before we head off, we should talk to the Queen. My squirrel buddy never got back to me, did it?
He has not yet gotten back to you.
Did he get eaten by a falcon?
There's so many things I
Or
can.
by a shark?
Yeah, because you sent this terrestrial animal when you guys are still up here
Mm-hmm.
to a point where there's not really a bridge.
It's only a short crossing. This one here.
Short for human, long for squirrel.
I should have gotten a pigeon.
Mm-hmm.
I was surprised. I'll be honest, when you doubled down on squirrel. But you know what? Let me.
We do need to talk to the Queen. I need to drop off this report about our good friend in white.
Is there a conversation being had?
I don't know. I have no idea.
I mean, who are we talking to?
Kind of out of character, because
Oh, okay.
we need to plan where we're headed as players before we can in character, I guess.
We'll have to. I guess I thought it would be a simple thing to just fly, because we weren't that far from the city where we left the cart.
No, it was only about half a day's walk. Actually, we don't know where we were. We got teleported into the location of the town, and then we walked in this direction.
Yeah, but the person that was there, that the manager said it wasn't far.
Yeah, you guys left the cart not far out of town. It's not super far to get to.
So we can't manage to guide the ship that distance? Is that what we're saying?
I mean, if you guys want to give me some checks for stuff, I can sure have you try.
Yeah.
So you guys haven't piloted the ship in its new upgraded form since you got the crew. You have had other people to handle that since you guys have been acting as officers.
I can figure it out.
All right.
I think the only Halstrom was probably the most capable one, since he was the one who oversaw the upgrades. But he's not going without the crew.
We'll come back for the crew. We gotta go get the supplies. If we don't have supplies, why would the crew come on the ship?
Maybe you could go get the crew and collect the supplies on the way back.
Exactly. So
We
anyway.
didn't leave those supplies in a great area. I mean, there were orcs there, and if they see an unattended cart, then
I
they
meant
would
on
probably
foot.
steal from it.
I'm not gonna walk half a day that way and half a day back.
Scratch, you can literally fly.
Not with a cart.
Which is why you get the crew to help you bring it back.
I'm gonna start throwing switches, I swear. Fine, we'll get the damn crew. He's just kind of pulling at his lower eyelids.
I just need you guys to make a decision about who's doing what before I start asking for roles.
Fine. We need to get the sails back on. That should be done before I get back. Where's our cabin kids?
They have just been kind of awkwardly hovering since they weren't directed to go anywhere. They weren't directed to a room. They've just been kind of awkwardly hanging out in the kitchen.
You, the boy. I want all the decks scrubbed, all the dust out of the hallways. Sweep, sweep, swap, swap, mop, mop. Do it. And
Okay.
and you,
And you can put your stuff in this room, the one with the green towels.
Okay. Are we supposed to share a room? And with that comment, Malia just drags him to the room. It's fine. It's fine.
No, I want the other one. The other one's coming with me.
What?
Uh-huh. You're the one in the office keeping all the clerical stuff and marking down names and things, right?
I mean, yeah.
Good. And pulls out a book from his bag. He opens it up to a page that has a list of all the names of the crew, the manifest, and he hands it to her. I said, okay, we gotta go into town and find everybody on this list.
Okay. What does that have to do with me sorting paperwork?
Because it's a big book, and I don't want to be the one to have to scratch the names off of.
Okay, whatever. And she just kind of like shrugs and it's just, oh, whatever, dude.
And it's his punishment.
Who's it a punishment for, though? Because you have to deal with her.
Yep. And there'll be many places where there's nobody around.
Actually, Rain would still volunteer to come with you.
Good.
The cardboard cutout of Masaru falls over.
Well, that answers that question.
Captain, am I to understand that we're splitting up on different assignments?
Yes, we'll need to. We gotta get the ship ready. We need to get it out of this lot first, as fast as we can. I don't want to give them any ideas that they can come back over here and lock it back up. And,
Oh, DM, I sent you a DM.
Oh.
And then we'll have to go and talk to Unale and try and find the crew, and somebody will have to be at the
I was going to
ship.
suggest Masaru and I can go talk to Onalelan. We can give her a brief of what happened, as well as the problem in our court that we alluded to earlier, and perhaps she has some idea of how we can find our crew as well, unless that's information that you know, Yurei.
Yeah, which one dipped?
Masaru.
Okay. Cardboard cutout of Masaru fell over. Very good.
I've been with you guys this whole time. I don't know why you would think I would know where the crew is.
Your boss shares information with you.
Yes, but we don't
Wait.
have access to the message spell like you do.
Have you considered a bar?
Bar.
I often
markets,
consider a bar. Actually, I do need to go by a bar. I noticed that my
library for some of them.
antiseptic needs to be refilled.
I'm sorry, did you say absinthe tank?
Anesthetic. Yeah, no, not anesthetic. Why is my brain blanking? The thing that makes germs go away.
Antiseptic.
Disinfectant?
Antiseptic.
Sounded to me like you said absinthe, but really I wasn't concerned about the substance, more the container.
The container.
Yes, it a tank? Not just
Tank.
Yeah, Sherman.
Yes, I have an absinthe tank. It is really strong alcohol, and it also gives you fun hallucinations if you drink it.
Yes, but why do you need a whole tank of it?
I use it as a base in a lot of my potions.
You get that Listerine fresh breath with every drink.
That explains so much.
Like why my potions taste like licorice. Apart
Like
from
why
the
Augie
licorice
was
that I put in
hearing
them.
colors or something.
Oh no, that was the Underdark licorice, or perhaps the Order of the Sky.
Well, if you use absinthe as the base for your potions, I can't imagine they're much different.
I dilute it. I don't want people getting drunk on the battlefield, just a little tipsy. Lachlan is staring at you as if they're entirely 100% not bullshitting.
Well, for the record, I abstain from alcohol. It
Is
does
that like
unpleasant things to me.
is it a cultural thing in Tethea? Am I going to be able to find spirits here?
No, it's a personal me thing. The last time I took part in the social activity, I ended up on a table, apparently. Or so I've heard, because I don't remember.
Like an operating table?
No. I'm what you'd call an extreme lightweight.
Hmm.
Yes, apparently I was using my broom not for its intended purpose.
Lachlan just click, click, click. How are you using it?
Remember how we had that talk about poles earlier? I'm trying to be subtle, but it's not working.
But you were using it as a support network for sales? It doesn't seem big enough for that. Although, a levitating sail, that could be an invention.
Never mind.
Scratch, can you stop digging holes in the back of my head?
Ah?
You said you were death staring me.
Oh. That was a while ago.
I know. I imagine that Scratch is the kind of person who would just keep death staring.
Yep, while checking his gear. Just check something, look up, death stare. Check something, look up, death stare.
Is that because you have a surgery scheduled, apparently?
No, it was more because he suggested that people other than Scratch go talk to Unale.
I'll ask if she can come see herself.
Fine. Angry kobold noises.
Grumble, grumble, kobold, grumble.
And I imagine Augie would want to go try and find a crew, seeing as they're the sociable one.
Yeah, they're gonna try to figure out. They'll help with wrangling the crew and getting everyone back on the ship and helping everyone figure out where we're going. We'll reconnoiter next week, and I think this is a good time to go ahead and call it because this will give me a little bit more of an opportunity to prep the two groups and figure out who's going where, who's doing what, and go from there. All right.
And how much we can torture a teenager.
Huh.
No torturing the teenagers.
No, we were
Teenagers
told
scared
not to
living shit
kill
out of
them.
me.
You are going to have Augie with you, so...
Mm-hmm.
Technically, they're not teenagers.
By Elvish standards.
They're adolescents.
No, by Elvish standards, they're teenagers.
Which is, I think, what
But
Gamma's right, though. I think the proper term would be adolescent then.
Listen here, you little shit. I'm the DM. I decide what rules.
so
Love you too.
Shut the fuck
the
up.
elves use a different base for their counting system.
Well, yeah, they live for centuries, so. Look, that is world building stuff that I can figure out behind the scenes. For now, I don't think we have any other announcements other than summer break coming up. And once again, a happy Mother's Day to all of our duo mothers, and also to all of the fathers out there, all of the parents who are single parents who are acting as both mom and dad. Your struggles are seen. You're doing a great job. Every parent out there knows it's tough. You're doing great. And we will reconvene, same bat time, same bat channel, next week. Anything else I'm forgetting? Anything else? Oh, I need to shill. Check us out on YouTube. Check us out on YouTube. Check us out on TikTok. Follow us on Twitch. All of our social medias. Make sure to follow us on X for all of the stream updates. Anything that anything that may change. We will be we will of course be streaming during the summer break. We will probably be having some duo after dark. Make sure to keep your eyes open for that. We want our fans in our games. We want to know you guys. Jump in with us on the Discord. Come hang out with us. If you do that, that's how we get to know the kind of things that you want to see from us. Comment on the
Those
videos.
are definitely original ideas for D&D campaigns that are
Absolutely,
totally not
we have never stolen an idea from any other media and thrown it into D&D with a twist ever in our lives. Never, ever, and absolutely, if you guys post stuff down, we totally won't rip it off and try to give credit where credit is due. But make sure to give us follows, likes, hearts, comments, subscribes, anything like that. If you're feeling extra generous, make sure to feed our dice addiction. Down at the bottom, toss Duo a tip. Owood is stealing all his dice again. He's very sad. Don't let the baby tiger be sad. And remember, there are 20 sides to every story. Roll for yours.